Now for a little bit of Chevrolet history. Back in the 60s, Chevrolet invented a car called the Malibu. It sold very well, but then the car languished and the name went away. And then in the 90s, Chevrolet invented a halfway decent rental car and they called it the Malibu. But then in 2008, a very interesting thing happened. Chevrolet, well, they got serious and they brought out a car that people actually wanted to buy, and it was called the Malibu. They sold a lot of them. Then in 2013, well, they changed the design, and it was a handsome car. There was nothing wrong with it. But for lack of a better term, Ford, they pooped on Chevy's doorstep by bringing out the Fusion. And it was a complete departure from anything else in the midsize segment, at least recent segment. So Chevy went back to the drawing board, and they tried to tweak it. Let's just say it didn't sell very well. Now, here they are again, and I would say Chevrolet got pissed. So they threw a lot at it. As a matter of fact, the guy who ran the whole design program on the Impala ran the design program on this. And I've never been in the business of telling you guys what you guys can already see, but let's just say much more dynamic design. You can definitely see some of the Impala in the car. But really, there are two things we got to focus on: powertrains and interior. Powertrain, they're actually going with much smaller, more efficient engines, and one option is a full hybrid. Remember when this car first came out in late 2012? They only put it on offer with a mild hybrid. Here it's a full hybrid, and they're going to borrow some technology from the Volt. Now, on the inside, let's take a look here. This, I would say this is a complete departure in design. Notice what they've done here. They got the same split dashboard you have almost like from Corvettes for years, but then they got this larger screen here that's almost floating, but it's not kind of in your way. Now check this out in the back here. This, it's not the CT6, but it's got a hell of a lot of legroom back here. And then they got some other stuff, a real plug back here, USB as well, and then they've got this panoramic sunroof that goes all the way to the rear. Now, speaking of the rear, check this out. This is called the fly line here, this C-pillar here. They've made this a much more aggressive design down here, and it kind of dovetails back here. I'll be honest, this is an area that, to me, reminds me a little bit of the Chrysler 200, which I'm not a huge fan of that design, but there's still overall a lot more strength throughout the car. What do you think of the Malibu?
I like the Malibu. You know, for me, Malibu, when I worked at the dealership, it was the years that all those nameplates were just
blah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then being in North Carolina, we'd have the like Jeff Gordon edition with the checkered flag and the pace car and all this, and it's just
a Malibu?
On an Impala and
oh my God.
Malibu, and then I mean, well, in the old Malibu was like this weird kind of.
Didn't they do a Monte Carlo version?
Monte Carlo, yeah.
If you guys have a picture of that, send it to us. I'd love to see that. So here's the script. Click here to subscribe. Click here to watch one of our 350 other episodes, and most importantly, share us with your friends. You're already wasting half your life on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. MotoManTV, all one word. I don't care who you share us with. Share us with your enemies. Just give the gift of MotoMan.